thermal sound wave. Yes, indeed, it's thermal sound waves, the natural alternative to fast food radio. We hear C.Truth, Kev Lawrence. Right about now, I have an artist that's joining me, Indie, doing her thing, on the move, putting in that work on her own. Definitely somebody on the rise, up and coming, and she goes by the name of Rielle. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So, where are you repping from exactly, Rielle?
So I'm based in New York.
Okay, what part?
We're currently in Westchester, and so that's where everything is happening. That's kind of where our headquarters has been, but we've been moving and shaking all over. So we're just in Washington, D.C., we did a bunch of things in the Bronx. We did a lot of things in Westchester as well as in Midtown. So we've been really trying to move and try to make this movement go forward.
Absolutely. And where did you grow up exactly?
I grew up in Westchester, New York.
Okay. Yeah, Yonkers, New Rochelle.
So I'm actually right next door to New Rochelle. I'm in Larchmont.
Oh, Larchmont. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Had a little extra cash with you. I see how you're doing. So coming up, was singing and getting into entertainment and the arts, was that a thing of yours, or did you discover that later in life?
No, that was always something that I needed and wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the way that your right arm is a part of you, music has always been a part of me.
Right.
And, you know what I'm saying? It was second nature for me to, you know, begin to write and to begin to sing. And that was something that was always very prevalent. You know, in my household. My household was a music household, except no one else. They always appreciated music. They never made music themselves, but I'm the only musician in the family that actively makes music.
Gotcha. And how old were you when you started writing?
I started writing at 11. I didn't get really good at it until I was like 18. So it was 7 years, more or less, of trial and error, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't, what the structure of a song looks like, you know, how to break and rebuild that structure and really find my own way that I like to write. And, you know, from 18 to now, you know, we've just been hitting the pavement running in terms of writing. Right.
Gotcha. It's Thermal Sound Waves, C.Truth, Kev Lawrence. We here talking to artist Rielle. Hit us up, of course, 347-454-1278, thermalsoundwaves@gmail.com. Do you remember the first song that you did that you were like, okay, I can really do this now? Like, this is really, really good.
So, funnily enough, the next single that's coming out was one of the first songs that I really looked at it and heard it front to back, and I was like, wow, this could really be something really special. It's called Dr. Jekyll Mr. Hyde. It's going to come out hopefully within the next couple of months. We're super excited about this release. And that's something that we've been really working towards, you know, with the single Modalita, and now, you know, transitioning to Dr. Jekyll Mr. Hyde, just to show the versatility of me as an artist. So that was kind of one of the first instances that I was like, wow, this could really be something really special.
Gotcha. And what is that about? Is that like somebody that's just psycho, somebody that's like going through some things? Or what is that song about?
So Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, you know, when I wrote that song, was really about someone who wasn't happy with themselves. And, you know, we were seeing each other, and, you know, when they were with me, they were one way. And when they were with, you know, the people that they associated with, they were a completely different way. They didn't necessarily treat me badly or anything like that, but they really transformed it into a completely different person, you know, that I didn't really recognize. And so as you hear the song from front to back, it comes from a place of empathy of like, you're two different people, but you don't have to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to care about you either way. So it's a really, you know what I'm saying? The beat goes hard. It's produced by the same person who produced Modalita, Ice, and mastered by the legendary Chris Birch. So we are absolutely thrilled to have that collaboration be taking place. And it's a hard beat. It's absolutely phenomenal. I'm so excited about it. But it also shows a place of vulnerability and empathy. So we're really excited about that release.
Gotcha. And coming up in Larchmont, New York, which is not necessarily known for, you know, music or, you know, entertainment like that, like, how did you go from there to actually getting your music out? So, funnily enough, it was a really funny story.
My mom was personal friends with the person who has been representing me, Mark Pennock. and has been really doing some wonderful things. And, you know, he had shown her a completely different song by a different artist and asked for her opinion. And funnily enough, she just, you know, she was like, oh, you know what? Why don't you listen to this instead? Didn't give him any context, any, you know, sort of backstory as to what the song was or who it was. And it was me. He, you know, heard the song, was super excited about it. He was like, whoa, like, who is this? And, you know, she's like, that's my kid. And he was like, wow, like, I would really love to meet her just to see if, you know, we can click and, you know, see what happens. And we clicked and we instantly sort of, you know, had this bond of like, we both love the same type of music. We both care about how the creation of music is done. You know, the efficacy of music. And that was something we really, really bonded over. And we just clicked and it kind of just been off to the races from there.
Absolutely. It's Thermal Sound Waves, the natural alternative to fast food radio. We hear C.Truth, Kev Lawrence talking to artist Rielle here with us. Now, how much have you learned since you first stepped on the scene into the industry until now? What were some of the things that you learned that you didn't necessarily know when you stepped foot into the door?
I've learned so much. I think, you know, this industry is constantly evolving and constantly changing. And with that constant involvement and change, there's always something new to learn. There's always something new to discover. And me as an artist, I've had immense growth. And I'm super excited about that growth and how, you know, that's going to be able to transcend through my music. You know, as an artist, I've learned so much about, you know, being able to carry yourself a certain way, to be able to really not only represent what I want to say throughout my artistry, but to really represent who I am as a person through interviews like these and speaking to such wonderful humans like yourself, to be really able to convey exactly what it is, you know what I'm saying, is going on with me as an artist and be able to propel that forward. And those are things that are really, really important. Also, having a really good team around you is so crucial in this industry. Having people that genuinely want to see you win and want to see you succeed and are coming from a true, genuine place, because this industry is really full of interesting individuals for sure.
Absolutely. And what are some of the other areas and things that you're into? Not necessarily as music, but you just like to do.
So I'm actually currently in university studying public relations. I'll be getting my degree in May. So I'm actually finishing that and then hopefully to go on to do my master's at some point. So I definitely have an interest in doing communications and having a career in public relations that is completely separate from my music career. And I've always found a lot of joy in doing that. I also love just art in general, whether that's dance, you know, obviously music is my main love, but, you know, visual art, traditional art, that's always been something that I've been really interested and fascinated with, because the way that I'm, as an artist, able to take my emotions, that's something that's abstract, and to put it into a tangible thing. However, it's audio and sonics, having that same ability, but to put that into a visual representation or to put that into movement is something that I've always been incredibly fascinated by. So those are some of my few interests that are outside of music.
Absolutely. And have you been able to take some of the things that you've learned thus far from the public relations side in your studies and apply it to your career?
Oh, absolutely. I think, you know, the entire part of branding, as well as, you know what I'm saying, how to convey yourself in a certain way and how to be able to really get yourself from point A to point B, not only from a general scope of social media engagement and, you know what I'm saying, that side of the equation, because that's become an incredibly important part of the industry, just having an online presence, but to be able to still maintain that human connection and still be able to have that face-to-face conversation and be able to, you know, have your thoughts be spoken in an eloquent and really understood manner. So those two sides of it, you know, through my public relations education has been really, really helpful, especially when it comes to branding, when it comes to propelling myself and really selling myself as an artist.
Absolutely. Now, do you get a chance to actually pick up a a canvas and paint and do things like that? Is that something that you do also?
So I don't paint personally. I mean, I've always tried to. It's always come out horrible. But I'm not an artist by any means in that respect. But I've always just admired just being able to like really understand where they're coming from. I'm a huge reader as well. I'm always reading books. I'm always trying to pick up something new, whether that's, fiction, nonfiction, biographies, memoirs, anything and anything I'll pick up and I'll just, ram right through it. So that's always something that I've loved to do. And I've always loved to travel. So that's something that I think is inconsequential to my music. Those experiences of being abroad or being, in domestic and really being able to experience new places and cultures.
Gotcha. And what are you reading right now? And what are like a couple of your favorite books just all time?
Ooh, that's really, really tough. I think I read Matthew Perry's memoir before he passed away. That was a really, really poignant read. It's Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. It was by Matthew Perry. It was an absolutely phenomenal memoir. The Widow of Basquiat is another really, really good one. You know what I'm saying? That was a phenomenal memoir by Basquiat's widow. She basically went and wrote a book about their relationship as well as her as an artist, being in the 80s and really, having Warhol be a part of their lives and how that really influenced his career. I love those two spectacular books. The Great Gatsby is an all-time classic that I think everyone should pick up at least once. It's a short read. It's only 120 pages by F. Scott Fitzgerald. It's a phenomenal read as well. So those are like kind of where I'm at reading-wise. But I also have my guilty pleasures, like anything by Ali Hazelwood, who is an up-and-coming romance author that I think is hilarious, that really focuses on women in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. So she really focuses on those female protagonists in those specific fields within the romance genre. So it's a really, really interesting take. So those are the ones that I've sort of been picking up lately that I've kind of just been reading through.
What would a Rielle book title look like? Like if someone was to put out a book on you, what would that be entitled?
I think a Rielle book title. What a question. I think the one that I've always, kind of drawn back to is Simply Complicated. I think as humans, we're all, to our core, we're very simple and we have these, simple needs of, you need shelter and food and water and love, and you need these very simple things. But as humans, because of the complex natures of who we are as individuals and as people, it makes it uniquely a complicated experience. So I think Simply Complicated would be a really cool, interesting title for a memoir or for like an autobiography about Rielle.
And where would you like to go to or travel to that you have not gone to yet?
Ooh, what a question. I love that. Let's see, that I haven't been to yet. I would love to do parts of Asia. I would love to do Hong Kong. I think that has a magnificent culture that isn't readily discussed enough. Vietnam is another beautiful country that is really just so interesting and is filled with this vibrancy that's really, really interesting. Parts of Europe that I haven't been to yet is like Austria. Parts of England I think are super cool, and Scotland. I think those are also some really, really interesting places. Parts of France, so like Cannes and Marseille and Nice, those are some beautiful, beautiful beach towns that are outside of Paris that are absolutely gorgeous that I haven't been able to visit yet. So the Amalfi Coast, places in the Caribbean, Jamaica is somewhere I've been dying to go, and I think my manager would kill me if I didn't put Jamaica on the list. So absolutely Jamaica, Barbados, some places in the Caribbean, the Dominican Republic I would love to visit just to see what it's like. Yeah, I think those are kind of the ones that I'm really leaning towards. Maybe Thailand. Who knows?
Gotcha. A lot of great places on that list. Wow. Okay. Some of them I've been to, but a lot of them I haven't. A lot of great list though. Great list. What is your background? What is your heritage?
So I'm Puerto Rican and Italian.
Spicy mix there.
Everybody keeps telling me, but I'm actually a very chill individual for the most part. I don't really have the only time I ever get spicy is when I'm really passionate about something and I'm really mad. Like, that's really about it. Otherwise, I'm a very chill person most of the time.
Definitely. Well, listen, we love Yeah, the joint, Moralita, we've been rocking that, as you already know. Looking forward to the next one coming. And, of course, looking forward to what you got coming next down the road as well. Let everybody know where they could get at you, your social medias and so forth.
Absolutely. So all social media platforms is at It's Rielle Music. That's ITSRIELLEMUSIC. Again, that's ITSRIELLEMUSIC. That's on all social media platforms. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all of the places, all Threads, all of the platforms. Just shoot me a DM or shoot me a collab. We're always interested in just hearing what the fans have to say.
Absolutely, definitely. And when she gets her public relations company, going and moving, y'all may want to get at her about that as well.
Absolutely. It's up and coming. Everything is in the works. The sky is the limit in the Rielle sphere.
Definitely. Well, listen, we thank you for taking time out and joining us. I know you're on the move doing your thing, and we appreciate you taking time.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for having me. This was absolute blast. And I'm so excited to hear what you guys have been doing next.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, and we'll have you on again soon.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
All right.
It's Thermal Sound Waves, the natural alternative to fast food radio. We hear C.Truth, Kev Lawrence. Yes, indeed. Thermal Sound Wave.